city and our county.
But after nearly a decade with the DA, Payne says it became draining and private practice seemed a little more appealing. So in 2009, he started his own law firm, the same one he runs today, along with representing the Texas Municipal Police Association.
We deal with officers that, if there's an officer involved shooting, if they are involved in an accident, a car wreck, a high-speed chase, anything of that nature, running code 3 or not, and there's something that could be either administrative or criminal prosecution against them, then we're typically called. It's a tough time to be a police officer. There's an expectation, and there should be high expectations on people that have that much power. But it's a difficult climate.
So with his well-respected legal career, a growing family, why then decide to now dabble into politics?
Let's be honest, a lot of people found themselves with more time to think during COVID, which I don't think was a bad thing. What do I want to be known for when I'm done? Do I want to make a difference in my community? And the answer was always yes. I never really saw or had a calling for DC or Austin. I felt like maybe I could make a difference in my backyard.
When he said it, I said, finally. And he kind of, did that. And he said, what are you talking about? I said, I don't know. I think we're on the same page. I've been praying about it too. I feel like it's the right time and I'm ready. Let's do it.
While campaigning was a new thing for the couple, their strategy was effective, their message to voters was clear, and the results back in May showed just that. One title Heidi Payne doesn't prefer, First Lady.
Every time even my closest friends or people I don't know say that, I cringe for a second just because I don't know how to process it. But it's of course flattering. It's an honor just to be beside Trey at any point. I'm so proud of him. But no, I don't love attention in that way. I don't know how to explain it. Sounds a little too fancy.
So how do the Paynes plan to juggle the next 22 months?
Well, first of all, we live on a calendar right now. So if it's on the calendar, I'm going to show up. And, it's contrary to what I think a lot of people think, it's not that bad. If you're diligent in time management, then it's really good. And I'm home most every night.
Honestly, he needs a place to rest. So I love that our home is that, and that we don't hash through every decision he's made that day or what he's come against. But we talk about it, but it's not all that we talk about by any means, because he needs an escape from that.
And when he does have a break, you'll typically find our new mayor with his nose in a book or showing off his ancient Roman atlas.
I read a lot. I read everything that there is to read, from self-help books to sci-fi to fantasy novels of futuristic things to history and biographies.
I mean, he really is a nerd about the history stuff. Like he can't get enough, and he loves it, and he's the dad that pulls over to every historical marker if we don't whine too much about it.